I'm Fergus Wessel and I'm a stone cutter, and I specialise in cutting letters and heraldry, and I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. We mainly make headstones, special headstones, which we really enjoy. I was under the impression, being a letter cutter, that I'd be making these glorious public works of art, and would be, very well respected in that sort of area. But no, it's really enjoyable actually. It's really uplifting. I love the intimate work, the intimate relationship you get with the client, and it's uplifting. People come to us a few years after the burial. Most people are fairly clear about what they want, and they come here, and we have a lovely peaceful workshop, and we make them feel very much at home, which I think is very important. And normally, instantly, the ice is broken and people just talk, and that's what we want. We really want to know about the person to whom we're making the headstone for. We've got a great team here of letter cutters. I tend to employ people for their good nature rather than anything else. That's my sort of primary thing I go for. One of the great difficulties people have when starting out on the journey of commissioning a headstone is obviously where to begin. So there are a few very sort of crucial elements. The most important thing, I think, is involvement. So as a client, they need to be involved with the process as much as possible. And in that way, they tend to get what they want. There's nothing worse than ending up with a headstone. Oh, that's not right. That's not it. So the involvement at each stage is really crucial. In fact, the most important stage is actually when it's drawn out on the stone, and we always try and get them to come back and to look at it. And they can make little changes and make sure they're really sort of happy with it before cutting. So there's the involvement. There's the choosing the wording, which most people actually leave to last. They want to choose the material and size and everything else. But the wording is really what often dictates the dimensions, the proportions, the size, the material sometimes. Normally people don't know what they want, or sometimes they do, and we change it, or we offer. I feel slightly obliged to kind of improve if we can. Often people like to fill it up with, the great granny system, and it just gets a bit boring after a while. So we try and encourage people to choose inscriptions which are which speak to other people, strangers who walk around these places. They read the inscriptions, and if that stranger can take something from the inscription away with them, then the inscription has a purpose and it lives on. And I think that's very special, really. So we try and help people choose the wording, and there's so much you can say. I think the problem is with the wording is that sometimes there are no words. Sometimes no words really sum up what you're trying to say. And so we do a carving of something, a bird or a tree, which gives a sort of feeling rather than you're actually saying something. So lots to talk about, and so it's very important that when we begin to commission, or when they begin to commission from us, we get them, invite them into the workshop and talk through it. And it's a timeless thing. There's no hurry. Sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes an afternoon, but we talk and talk and talk. And it's the whole thing actually has led me and Hannah, my wife, it's inspired us actually to write a book about choosing a headstone and how to do it, because there's so there's very little information out there, very little help. And I think, when you commission a stone, it's going to be there for hundreds of years, a long, long time. And so it's, very important to get it right. And so we've decided to write a book, which we've written, and it's just a guide to choosing a headstone, but with over 200 images of our work, and a huge list of epitaphs. And we've decided to give something back, and to give a share of profits to Maggie's, which is a charity started I think in 1996 by Maggie James, and it really offers support for families who've been affected by cancer. So it's a very sort of non-profit thing, but the book I think is so important, and we get so many inquiries from America who really need that. There's no advice out there. Far from being a stressful and upsetting process, an experience, choosing a headstone can be quite a healing journey. They can bring a sense of peace and deep comfort to those who've lost somebody. Occasionally we go to a churchyard and we see one of the stones that we made years ago, and it's nice to feel actually that we got it right.